Whew, y'all, it has been a couple of days. Just a couple of days ago, I posted one of the scariest, most nerve-wracking videos I've ever published on my channel before. And to be honest, I had zero expectation at the video getting the response it did. I was actually kind of bracing for impact from filming that video. I was personally deciding that at least 40 to 50% of people would actually disagree with me. And y'all, that is not how this video was received at all. Now, if you're missing it and you didn't see that I posted a video that was titled "What Happened to Cricut" just a couple of days ago, it has been received over 74,000 views, over 1,300 comments, and believe it or not, almost 100% of people agreed with me. And I started telling Courtney, like, by hour 5 or 6, I was like, this is crazy. Like, no one's disagreeing. Everyone's reporting issues. Everyone, is grateful, thinking that it's them, it's them, it's them. And to just have validation that it could be the product is really, I think from a lot of the comments, has been really well received, and someone just feeling validated and knowing that it's not always their computer, their knowledge or anything like that. I mean, so many people reported in the comments that they'd actually upgraded their mechanics, their technology, thinking that it was them. And that really hurts me, because a lot of the things that I kind of reported on, they're like, oh, that happens to me too. I thought it was me, so I went and bought new equipment, and the problem still occurred. So y'all, I just want to say thank you for sharing your heart in that video, sharing all of your own frustrations. And I just want to say thank you so much for holding space for me to be the voice for this Cricut community when no one else is willing to talk about it. It's really hard to have hard conversations sometimes, and I am just so grateful to have a community that we are not going to sugarcoat things. We're going to be real here, have real conversations, because we create real results for our community. And what the push for me when it came to publishing this video is that anytime someone has called me out to call me up, it has always bettered my business, bettered my life, and things like that. So, I want to consider that video, calling Cricut out, to call them up, to level up, and to better the software, to better the client experience, the customer experience. And I am just really excited to see what comes from this, because Cricut responded. Y'all, I honestly didn't even think Cricut would respond or see the video, or I didn't even think about it. Like, I think I jokingly said, wonder what Cricut would say if they watched this. I would be really interested. But y'all, Cricut responded just think like a day or two ago. The comment popped up. It was very, very late in the evening. I saw the comment from Ashish and his team. So they have responded to the video. So what I want to encourage you to do is, if you haven't watched my first video, please take some time to go watch that video, posted just a couple of days ago. It's called "What Happened to Cricut," and it's just me sharing my entire heart about how much I love Cricut, how much I value them, but where I've seen some things fall short, and where I kind of want to hold some accountability to a higher standard, because I think that's what they're about. So this is the Cricut CEO response to the video. I'm going to read it to you today, and then after that, I am going to kind of go through some of the things that people have commented on my other video, talking about things that they would like to improve, so that, the Cricut team can just see like a condensed version if they watch this video as well. And you all can also chime in the comments, because Cricut is watching, and I think they do such a great job at monitoring social media and responses and things like that. So Ashish commented from his personal YouTube account, and it's titled "Cricut CEO Response." Dear Tanner, Cricut members, we want to appreciate the video and the feedback. I would like to thank the Makers Gonna Learn team for putting out this video and for the candid feedback and the support. I watched this video first thing today morning at 4:30 a.m. and did not need coffee after that. My team and I have already gone through most of the comments and take them to heart. So sweet. It goes on to say, this has been extremely sobering and yet empowering to watch and read all the comments from our members. We strive to make Cricut Design Space a place where our members can be their creative self without any friction and feel like we have let down our members by not being able to maintain the highest level of quality and reliability on our platform. I just really appreciate, pause, not his comment, back to me. I just really appreciate the acknowledgement that there's room to improve and that it's not just a user error or something like that. Like, I think that means so much. So to Ashish and team, thank you. Going on, says, we have had significant focus on Design Space for some time and have launched tons of improvements, new features, and addressed many issues. Having said that, it also feels like this has caused some bugs and introduced glitches that are impacting many members' experiences. Every day, we have hundreds of thousands of members come on to make projects on Design Space. While we see a lot of successful project cuts, we also realize that many, as evidenced by this video and other comments here, are experiencing issues, and it's our goal to listen carefully, internalize, and resolve many of these issues. Pause. I think the team at Cricut have had significant focus on Design Space. I think more so for access rather than the core program of Design Space, from a lot of the new features that I am a huge fan of. And I'm actually really proud of Cricut to better their membership so that companies like myself and, me as a user will be more apt to join the program. I think it's so valuable. But also, when a lot of the issues addressed in our other video and the ones that I'm going to kind of share with you later on in the video today, without the core program functioning well, it doesn't allow room for all these features that have been updated. But I totally see where when you're trying to better it and add things, it can also break things that probably shouldn't have been broken or had already been perfected in the past. I think when you're having hundreds of thousands of people and just adding and adding and adding people, things will just naturally break. So I'm super excited to see hopefully the team just go back through and double, triple check a lot of these things. That's why I've put together a list of, my entire team gave me a rundown on all the top things that people have reported on our other video for the Cricut team. So it goes on to say, every team member of our software leadership team has watched this video. We plan to ensure that the entire team watches this and internalizes what we need to do as a team to address these issues. We're working on a plan to replicate, identify, and address the issues being faced by our members. In addition to internal testing, logs, and analytics, we'll be reaching out to different forums to hear more about some of the issues being raised and resolve to work through them as a team. Thank you for your patience and support. Ashish, CEO, and then their Cricut platform development vice president. So thank you guys so much for responding. I appreciate all the time that you took to write a response and share with our community. I just wanted to make sure it didn't go unaddressed. So what I have done is I have went ahead and put together an entire list of things that specifically have been reported from the comments. And why I think this is really important to have an entire list of things that we've noticed on the Cricut software and on the platform is that maybe you at home have went through this as well, right? So if you've experienced any of these, if you've experienced any of these issues or other ones as well, feel free to drop them down below. I really would like to acknowledge Cricut for listening and just expressing, their concern as well. I think it's a really good sign, and I'm excited to see where Cricut is going to go from here. I think it'll be harder to benchmark because I don't think Cricut will come out and say, oh, we've fixed things that should never have been broken. So it'll be really interesting for all of us to just be makers and creators to go out and make and see how the experience shifts over the upcoming months and weeks and years, in the software. I really, at the end of the day, want to look back at this experience and again, just say, you know what, we would rather call out a company that we admire, adore, and love, to call them up to greater and better things for the entire community. I don't want anyone to think that, I posted that video for anything other than the viewer and my friends and family of the show, right? Like, this is not a video to bash Cricut. We love Cricut. We love teaching Cricut. Being one of the top educators on Cricut, it was a very, very vulnerable spot for me to be in, to have the heart and the feeling and the urge to post the video, but let alone going through with it, planning it, actually filming it. But the hardest part, y'all, has been honestly not even posting the video. Do you want to know what the hardest part of posting in, that whole video has been? It's been reading the comments. I have not been glued to YouTube reading the comments in so many years. And I ended up telling my wife, I said, Courtney, it was probably the next day or 2 days later, I said, Courtney, there's a lot of people experiencing what we've experienced, and that breaks my heart. So again, I just want to say thank you, and I just want to acknowledge every single one of you. It's been my goal since 2017 to literally just serve the crafter and the creators here on the channel. So that's what I intend to do. That's what I intend to continue doing, and just to be a voice for you as a friend of our channel, a member of Makers Gonna Learn, and so much more. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. We love getting to serve you, and we'd love to teach you everything that you need to know about your Cricut, because like I said in my other video, we adore Cricut here, and we truly think they're one of the best machines on the market. I think a lot of people loved using the video I posted earlier in the week as an opportunity to try to be like, oh, switch machines. Y'all, I still don't think other machines on the market are anywhere close. So as you see other Cricut crafters trying to say, oh, this machine does better print and cut or any of that, y'all, those machines are still falling so much shorter than Cricut is. And as you experience it and as you try other machines, you'll know how good you have it with your Cricut. I promise, and I say that with love, as I've tried those machines. All right, so let's dive into just some things that my team put together for the Cricut team, if they're watching, to understand that we have seen a lot of responses about, okay? Number one, I thought was really interesting, and I've experienced this myself, the undo button not working. It just loads and loads and loads. It never actually works. It just continues to load and load and load. And what happens is there's pretty much no undo button. So you've lost your project. You have to start back at 0 because the undo button isn't actually working. Number two, when you go to click Make It, it defaults to a 12 by 24 inch mat. It can be fixed, but it defaults back to 12 by 24 as more updates come. So you go to make it, you load it, and then it's automatically thinking you have a 12 by 24 inch mat. You switch it back, and then in a week or 2 weeks or however many weeks, you imagine, another update coming, and then it reverts back to assuming you have a 12 by 24 inch mat, which very few percentage of people even use a 12 by 24 inch mat. So I find that very interesting. Number three, we've noticed this a lot. Image disappearing when you click on them on your canvas. Y'all, a lot of people commented about that. I think that's just so weird and unacceptable. Like, it's just so strange to me why and how that's even happening. Number four, an error across the top of Design Space telling you to unplug your machine. Now, I haven't witnessed that one myself, but it was reported quite a few times, so I'm just addressing it here. Let me know if that one's ever happened to you. Very interesting. Number five, when opening files, PNGs or photo images in particular will simply not load because they are too big, and sometimes they will upload to Design Space, but they won't load onto the canvas. So what I'll say about this one is I get that there's size requirements and they have to be uploaded from your computer to the cloud, but I think this is a great gray area, one that we could clarify some to where we could improve and make sure that we just know what sizes. Because if we get really specific, if Cricut can get specific on this is the best size, this is the size you need to upload, us as educators could just tell, the the viewers and help people make it that size, right? Like, but as you upload, there isn't a specific, like, no, you need to keep it 1200 by 1200 or, 18, 19 by 20 or something like that, resolution and sizing. So I think that's just a gray area that has room to be improved so that, we get the best ease with uploading files and photos. And if you've had this problem happen, if you're affected by it, try, just compressing your image, sizing it down, and hopefully it will load better. All right. Number 6 is offset won't load when working with intricate PNGs. Very interesting. I have had this experience just a couple of times, not too many, but I don't work with a ton of complex PNGs, but we have noticed that happen quite a bit. Number 7 has happened a lot to me, especially when I am training during a live show, and that is the screen will randomly pan over, meaning like your canvas will just like swipe away. You didn't move your mouse, you didn't do anything, but it just swipes it away. And what happens is I initially think, oh my gosh, Cricut's deleted my entire project, I'm going to have to start over. But what actually happened was the canvas just like moved over without my mouse or my keys doing anything, which is very, very strange. It's happened multiple times, and a lot of people reported that one. Number 8, this is one of the reasons why a lot of people have been leaving Cricut. So I'd love to know if you have experienced this. Inconsistent print and then cut. Inconsistent print and cut. Have you experienced this? This is meaning, calibration is off and you're constantly having to recalibrate it often to get precise cuts. Let me know if that's happened to you, because I definitely have seen it. I still think Cricut's print and cut is pretty good. It does great for me, but I will say it can be inconsistent at times, and a lot of people reported that, probably more than what we've reported here in our office. So number 9 is when you try to select multiple layers in the layers panel, the display will jump to the top, so you have to scroll to select the next layer if you want to have lots, like to select a lot more layers. And that's more, again, just more of a glitch. Like, a lot of these glitches are very granular, but what I want to say about that is if the software is glitchy and, these simple things aren't working, it's definitely a problem, right? Like, it's kind of like if you're focused on this super awesome Cricut update that just came out for, turning PNGs into kind of like a multi-layer file, like that's all great. But when things like this is troublesome and not working, like it takes away from all the benefits, right? It takes away from all the things that Cricut is trying to add. So number 10, we've seen a lot of people report losing images that were previously uploaded to Design Space. Very, very interesting. I've seen that happen a lot in the comments. Number 11 has not been something that I've experienced, but it was weird, so I'm addressing it. Seeing someone else's images on your Design Space upload section, someone even reported that they saw other people's family photos. Again, that has not happened to me personally. That was just reported in the comments, so take it with a grain of salt. Very strange. Number 12, saved projects appearing differently on mobile than they did on desktop. Now, this could be for a number of reasons, but again, it was reported enough to where my team was like, this should be just addressed and commented on. And then last but not least, the iPad and mobile functions are just not as good as the desktop version. And I don't think they'll ever be as good as desktop. I don't think software can always get as good as the desktop version. But if we were dreaming, people would love a bigger focus on tablets, iPads, and mobile. And I think in the way of the world, there's going to be less computers and more tablets and phones, and they're getting so much better. But again, that was just something that people constantly reiterated. If you are here considering a Cricut, I want you to pretty much know you need a computer or a desktop or a laptop to get the most out of your machine. And I've been able to say that for many, many years. So this has been it. I hope to see so much amazing improvement with Cricut. I will definitely be following up with you guys to chat around these topics to see in the upcoming months if you have seen things improve. Our team is going to be doing a deep dive and documenting as many positives or negatives as possible, because we do want to update you guys and keep you on the forefront of the Cricut updates to see this amazing product just get better and better every single day. To the Cricut team, thank you so much for your time. I'm excited and I am super proud to be a part of this Cricut community. I am grateful to teach this machine. I think Cricut is truly changing lives and helping impact so many people in such a great way. And I am so grateful and thankful to be a part of this process for so many years. And to the viewers, thank you so much for holding space for me, for, not just showing up and comforting me, but actually comforting each other and sharing your thoughts on the video below, on the last video. It has been, very greatly appreciated. I am glad to be, holding space for all of you as well. I think it's very important that we, really keep the maker at the forefront, and that's what I do day in and day out. I wake up to come here and serve you as a maker. And if you have been following along and you're like, wow, like Tanner definitely is showing up and showing out, y'all, that's just what I'm doing here for free. Imagine how it feels like to be in our membership. Okay. Like imagine how good it feels if you are a member. So if you're watching this video and you're not a member, be sure to sign up for our boot camp right down below. Hang out with us all week. And by the end of the week, you'll be like, oh, this is why I should be a member of Makers Gonna Learn. All right, my friends, I can't wait to see you on the next video. We'll have some amazing Cricut videos coming out in the upcoming weeks, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.